How's it going, everybody? JP here, and welcome to the very first episode of a new show we got here. It's called a double shot of horror. Basically, what we're going to be doing here, we're going to be looking at two horror films each week, and they're going to have some kind of common theme. This week, it's New York. Two horror films that take place in New York. We are covering Basket Case from the year 1982 and C.H.U.D from the year 1984. I love films set in New York, the 80s, early, grimy ass, nasty, sleazy, disgusting New York. So that was why I wanted to do this show first. With me, I have Rich Stiles from thedevilseyes.com. So, Rich, what do you do?
I do many. I'm a worker of many hats, but I run the Devil's Eyes and I host Rabbit and Red. And I don't know. I do a whole lot of nothing, really.
Running the Devil's Eyes.
I find other people to do work for me, and then I take all the credit.
Okay, so now Rabbit and Red, a little background on that. You guys are on like episode 100 plus now, I believe. 200 plus?
211.
Wow.
This Friday, well, Mike had just called me. And I have to interview the CO from Orange is the New Black tomorrow at noon. That will be on this Friday's show, along with the director that she worked with in this latest movie called A Wife Alone. So that's about the main thing I do. I do interviews.
Okay, Rabbit and Red has been around for a long time. You guys have interviewed a lot of different people. Drop some of the names that you've interviewed on that show.
Oh, God. Tony Todd, Daniel Harris, Kane Hodder,
Adam Green,
Crispin Glover,
Elvira.
Thank you. Reggie Bannister.
That was a good one. That was recent.
Yeah, he comes on the show a lot. He's a good friend of the show. Man, honestly, if you name them, they've probably came on the show.
Yeah, so if you guys want to hear some, quality interviews and stuff, head on over to devilseyes.com and definitely check out Rabbit and Red. They've been around forever. They interview a lot of different people. They always got some cool new guests coming on. And
this 26th is our 4-year anniversary. The 26th of June.
Wow.
That's 4 years that the show has been around.
Rich is going to probably be here every week with me, kind of as a, regular co-host. And then every week we kind of want to bring in a different co-host, a guest co-host. And that brings me to the next person joining us. And that is the homie from way back. I did a live show with him before. It was awesome. We had a lot of great battles on there. It was short-lived, but it was a lot of fun. And that is the man, the homie, Klive Kraven. What's up, dude?
Indeed. What's going on, man? Glad to be here. Glad to be on the show. Glad to be a part of it.
Yeah, I was super psyched to get you on the first episode. I've been wanting to do another show with you for a while. What do you got going on, man?
You know me, I got a little bit of everything going on. Working on a lot of new music, obviously. Anybody knows me also knows I'm a musician.
Where can they find that music?
GoldMindedRecords.com is the website where you can purchase it. You can find me on iTunes, Amazon, Rhapsody, Google Play, eMusic, all major digital distributors you can find me on. UndergroundHipHop.com carries my albums. You can get me at KliveKraven.com, GoldMindedRecords.com, obviously. And I'm on Facebook. Just look up Klive Kraven on Facebook if you want to directly contact me. But yeah, I've just been doing that and, getting my hands back into a little bit of everything. I've been thinking about coming back to YouTube.
Good.
Doing my videos again. I used to do, the YouTube community may be familiar with me. I used to do horror reviews, updates, unboxings. I had a Versus series I did. I did all types of different horror-related videos, collection overviews, all that good stuff. Top 10 countdowns. So I might get back into doing that. And I also do custom figure sculpting. Some people may not know that I actually do 12-inch customs as well.
Awesome. So yeah, definitely I'll leave some links below where people can check out your stuff. Definitely, check out his music. There's a lot of people who have gave great reviews and recommendations on his music. So, just to get a little more familiar with each other's tastes in horror, Rich, what are some of your maybe five favorite horror films? Five of your favorite horror films.
Phantasm,
Great one.
Nightmare on Elm Street,
Another solid one.
which actually this year is the 20th anniversary of New Nightmare.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm gonna say Halloween 3 because no one ever says Halloween 3. So I'm gonna say Halloween 3 first.
I will say that Halloween 3 has gotten a lot more, backing behind it over the years. I remember before it used to be like the, redheaded stepbrother of the franchise, but it seems like it's getting a lot more love throughout the years now. I'm a big fan also. It was the first Halloween I seen.
See, that mine too. I seen it on video. And I was so young when I seen it that I really couldn't comprehend, like, oh, this isn't Michael Myers and it doesn't involve him. So I just always accepted it for what it was, a cool movie about people dying wearing Halloween masks.
It's a ridiculous movie, but yeah. Two more?
Uh, I'm gonna say Adam Green's Hatchet series.
Wow.
That
Whoa.
is a really solid series and really takes me back to, the prime of, Friday the 13th
Yeah,
and
that's a bold
Nightmare on Elm
statement.
Street.
But I do love that series. I'm a huge fan of Adam Green. I love his work. I love all of his films, actually.
And can I say the House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil Reject? Does that count
Yeah, that
as a
counts.
series? All right, yeah, I will take that too.
Yeah, definitely. Devil's Rejects is for sure in my top, at least 30 films.
Those two together, I find it to be perfect. It's like
I have
you,
beefs with House of a Thousand, but
but he pulled so much from Texas Chainsaw, and just like I don't think he just pulled every good thing from like every gritty, shitty 70s, 80s horror movie, and was like, "Here's what I got,"
yeah, and he does
and
that a
it just
lot. Even in
works.
Lords of Salem, has a lot of like Suspiria and The Shining and stuff like that, which is fine. I'm cool with that. I mean, he's a horror fan. He, of course, a product of his environment. He's going to throw in stuff that he's familiar with.
And to top it off, I would say Friday the 13th. Stick with the classics.
Okay. What about you, Clive?
Oh man, all right. I got a little idea of what I would have to say. And it's funny because Rich also mentioned one of my favorites, Phantasm. I mean, for me, Phantasm is just absolute classic. One of my favorites. Everything about it, the vibe, the theme, the story, the tall man, the spears themselves, the atmosphere of it. Even the music in that film is just absolutely incredible. The soundtrack is just fucking phenomenal.
I would have
Definitely.
to agree with everything you just said there.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's so well done, and I love the yellow blood. I love the dwarves. I love that the idea of the people being reincarnated as dwarves after being dead. I mean, just the whole idea is so bugged out and dusted. It's definitely a staple of '70s horror. You know what I mean? It definitely, even though it's the end of the '70s, it still embodies that feeling without
Yes,
a
it
doubt.
does.
I think they nailed it. I think they fucking nailed it out of the park. Definitely. And I mean, honestly, Phantasm seriously as a franchise is one of my favorites. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like some of the later ones, but to me, it's always been something I've always enjoyed coming back to. So Phantasm for me is one. Also, Rich mentioned Friday the 13th. Now, I got to go with a different Friday the 13th. I got to say part three. I got to
Part
go with
three.
Friday the 13th part three. And I'll tell you why. There's so many reasons. To me, three is the first, like, real Jason movie.
It
Because it's
is.
the first one where you get Jason in the mask, okay? It's the first one that really brings out his brutality. You know what I mean? Like, really, he gets grimy in that one. The second one, he's still like a back hills redneck fucking
Yeah,
serial.
yeah. You know what? I never really thought of it that way, but it is really the first, not just because of the hockey mask, but it's the first Jason film that is the reason it embodies what we love about the franchise and why we keep coming back. It
Oh,
started
yeah.
that off. I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I mean, for me, that's definitely a top one. And another thing I want to point out about that before I move on to the next one is the ending of that film, I think, is one of the creepiest fucking
When he takes
things
the
ever. The
mask off.
scene when no, when he's in the window, when he's
Oh yeah.
upstairs looking down at her, and he's got that crazy fucking face, and like he's like holding his hands up on the window. Thought that was the most brilliant like 20 seconds of cinema. And he comes busting out the fucking door. Love that scene. Absolutely love it. Still stands out to me as one of the greatest cinematic sequences in history for horror.
That's
The
his
next
best
one,
look.
oh yeah,
think.
definitely is. Definitely is for the face.
I think besides part 7. I mean, but that's with the mask on. Part 7 with
Yeah.
mask on, with his jawbone
Yeah.
showing. But out of like the straight up just his face itself, I agree. I think part 3 Jason has the best human face.
Yeah, I agree as well. Third for me, I got to go with a classic. And I already know where. I don't know if you're gonna get over me with this for JP, but Hellraiser. You know
Okay.
what I mean? I know
That's
we've
a
had the
good fucking
dispute.
pick.
I know
Way
we've had
back.
the dispute, but love
Way-
Hellraiser.
Way
I
back
love
on the
it.
burial grounds, I said that I thought Hellraiser was overrated. Upon the
Whoa,
year
blas-
plus,
Blasphemy.
yeah, okay, the year plus after that happened, I recently on the 22 Shots and Moods and Horror podcast, I stated that I was wrong by saying that Hellraiser is genius. And I don't know what I was thinking, but I ate my words on that. And I was like, somewhere Klive Kraven is smiling at me because, we battled over that. But man,
Yeah.
the ideas that come out of Clive Barker's mind it's pure original. It's like trying to come up with something that has never existed before, and it's almost impossible. You can't. It's like creating a new person. You're just going to take things that you've seen from other people and mold them into one person. But Clive Barker can somehow figure out a way to come up with this stuff out of a blank canvas, and it's crazy. That world is crazy that he comes up with.
Nightbreed.
Yeah, Nightbreed is another phenomenal one. Yeah, I absolutely love Nightbreed. I mean, that's where obviously I named myself partially after Klive Barker, Klive Kraven. That's where the Klive comes from, then Craven for Wes Craven. So
Oh, you mean that's not your real name?
no, it's not my
I was
real
thinking,
name.
I was like, man, dude got a fucking cool ass name.
Yeah, he was.
I was like,
damn
Clive
good
Kraven? I
parents.
was like, that's a fucking good name. I was like, his parents were on the ball with that one.
Yeah. So I mean that's where it came from. So obviously Hellraiser is a big influence. The next one I want to say is kind of a double. I'm going to put them together because even though they're different franchises, different directors, they're like stepchildren to each other. I mean, they're the same in my eyes. I view them as pretty much the same franchise, and that's Day of the Dead / Return of the Living Dead. Those two for me are just for Return of the Living Dead. Obviously, the first one is the best out of that franchise.
Yeah.
Day of the Dead for me is the best out of the trilogy from Romero. So I gotta say, Day of the Dead / Return of the Living Dead is kind of like a 2-for-1 deal.
See, I'm right with you on that. Those are actually my 2 favorite zombie films. My number 1 is Return, and my number 2 is Day of the Dead, and I agree they're cousins. Those films are definitely like cousins.
I mean, with the references, even Return of the Living Dead with the references to Night of the Living Dead, it's it's close as you could fucking get. You never see that done in other films. You know what I mean? So those 2 is one. And then I want to go ahead and say for the 5th one, the 5th one would be a foreign film that blew me away when I seen it. Absolutely blew me away. Still stands as probably one of my favorite, if not favorite, foreign films, and that is Inside.
I still never seen it.
Inside is intense. It is fucking crazy. I've seen Train, Martyrs, High Tension, Shaitan, Serbian film, all that crazy shit. But Inside is fucking psychopath. Like, it is fucking crazy deranged. Great.
Is it as good as the ones that you just listed? Because I've seen everything except for Inside.
Yes, if you liked any of that type of shit, Inside is for you. It is at least as good, if not better, than those films. It is phenomenal.
No shit.
Inside is absolutely. Now you might find it under another title because it's a French film, and the French film is like El Entiers or some weird shit like that.
It's
But if
probably inside in French.
it is, but it's spelled like LNTRs. But if you look up Inside, the film it's brilliant. It's done by Dimension Extreme, is the company that
Yeah,
put
it's
it out.
actually out of print now.
Yeah, because it's fucking
Because we
psycho.
was supposed to do a show on it on the 22 shots, and I couldn't get a copy in time. I was low on cash. So yeah, I have to see this movie because you're not the only one that hyped it. But I'll tell you right now, you did a really good job of making it sound really awesome.
It is good. It's seriously really good. I put it up there with, when you think of like the most fucked up films you've seen, it's in there. It is definitely in there. Like whenever somebody hits me up and they're like, I want to see something really foul, you know what I mean? I just watched, Martyrs or Train or Shite, and I want to see something similar to that. I'm like, watch Inside. That shit'll fucking warp your brain. It's brutal. It's super brutal. The kills in it are extreme. They're very real. It's not like overdone. They're like legit. And the way that it all goes down, the story, the twist at the end is fucking brilliant. Haven't seen a twist like that since fucking Sleepaway Camp. Phenomenal. Loved it.
Awesome, man. Awesome. That's definitely a good top 5 right there.
And I want to throw one more thing out there before I end my top 5. I want to throw in as an honorable mention, favorite horror TV show, Tales from the
Tales
Crypt.
from the motherfucking crypt.
Yeah, that's
I'm right
hands
with you,
down.
bro.
Gotta throw that in there. It's the best. It is.
That's what we're missing right now in horror TV. Horror TV is so good right now, but we don't have an anthology show. What the hell's going on?
No good.
Canada was supposed to be rebooting Tales from the Crypt. What
Oh.
happened with that? That was going on for
I
like the
remember
past
that,
2
yeah.
years.
I remember news.
There was a Canadian broadcasting company that was like, hey, we're bringing back Tales from the Crypt. All new anthologies, all new stories. And I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. But then it's that was it.
I would literally shit myself. Literally, I would shit all over myself if Tales from the Crypt came back. And if John Kassir was doing the fucking voice of the Crypt Keeper, and they brought back the old Crypt Keeper, and they kept the original format, and they had actors still coming in to play the cameos. Oh my God. Do you realize how fucking well that would do? How many horror fans would... You could... Literally, I know for a fucking fact that if it was done correctly and it was done to the original format, 100%, you could have motherfuckers subscribe to that. People would pay for subscriptions.
I would do it.
If it was done old school, if it was done exactly the way it used to be with all new stories, and like, man, they could do so much with it. So much with it.
And they need to make up for that last Tales from the Crypt movie. Like
Ritual?
Ritual.
Yeah, that was horrible.
I didn't mind it so much. I like the voodoo zombie idea. Serpent in the Rainbow, I think, done it best, but I think it could have been better, but I didn't mind it so much. But I will say...
Even the puppet, though. The puppet
the puppet was bad, but that's because they dug him out and he was all old and shit.
Bordello honestly wasn't even... I mean, Bordello wasn't bad, but if I had to pick out of the 3, I think we all agree that Demon Knight was the best.
Demon Knight kicks major fucking ass. It's one of my favorite movies, man.
Yeah,
Demon Knight is so good.
Great. The character, the what was it? Billy Zane, right?
Yeah.
Billy Zane, yeah. Fucking the Phantom. You know what I mean?
That's down. No one fuck this cowboy shit.
Yeah. I love the character. I love the look of the monsters in it. The story was great.
Yeah, the story was actually better than it deserved to be. Like for a Tales from the Crypt episode or something. Like the story was really complex and like a solid story that hasn't. You never really seen anything like that. It was really original.
I love the idea that it was Jesus's blood in the bottle.
Yeah,
that was awesome to me. That was so cool that they did it like that. Like it was a really interesting kind of concept, and now they showed the Crusades in the past and all. I thought that was really awesome.
And I'll tell you one thing. We were asked a question on 22 Shots the other week, like, what scared you the most? What movie scared you the most? And I actually threw in, when I was a kid, and the opening of Tales from the Crypt would kick open and it would be going down the stairs and then he would pop out. That used to terrify the shit out of me as a kid, man.
Oh, I love that shit. I absolutely love it. Yeah, I always loved Tales from the Crypt. Such an amazing show. And you know what? Another one you can kind of throw in there that wasn't quite as good, but still really cool would be Tales from the Dark Side. A very underrated show. I know a lot of I know a lot of the shows in it. Like if you go back and watch it, because I own the whole collection on DVD, and it's really interesting. If you like the first few seasons, especially, a lot of it is like technology terror. Like
Yeah.
a lot of it, they use like technology as like the culprit of horror, which is really cool to me. You know what I mean? Which is really interesting. You know what I mean? Because each show kind of had its own thing. Twilight Zone obviously had its own thing, a very the strangest type of stories. Tales from
Eerie.
the Crypt was very hard, gory, zombie monster, vampire oriented. And then you had Tales from the Dark Side, which was kind of like more psychological, more like technological type of horror. So each one kind of brought their own flavor, which I thought was very cool. All those anthology type shows.
Yeah, for sure. We actually did a episode on TV horror back on the burial grounds. I'm sure that's still up
Yeah.
if you guys want to search it out.
Yep. Yeah, that we did do that. I remember that.
So I think that
Do you
brings
remember
us.
Amazing Stories?
I actually do remember that a little bit.
I heard about it, but I never got a chance to actually watch it, I don't think.
It's on Netflix right now, and man, these are some of the best shorts.
This was
That
Steven
I have ever
Spielberg
seen.
produced, right?
Yes, and they still hold up.
Oh, wow.
Like it's really, really good. If you have Netflix Instant, check it out.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I have watched a couple of those episodes, and I do remember them being pretty damn good.
I think by rule of law, all horror fans have Netflix. I think we all. I'm
That
serious.
is
I don't know
true.
one dude that's into horror that's like, yeah, bro, I don't even own Netflix. You're a liar. You have. We all fucking have it. We have addictions. We bang Netflix into our veins. Got that fix. Got that new instant horror section today. Added 10 movies this week. I'm happy as a
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, you do get excited when you look and you're like, oh, shit, they added some new
that?
horror. It's like, I haven't even thought of that movie in 10 years.
They had the gate on there a while back. I was like a fucking kid in a candy store.
I love The Gate, man.
Gate is great.
I just watched Night of the Creeps.
That's
Oh
a great
yeah,
one too, man.
I
Tommy
got that on-
motherfucking Atkins.
I got that on Blu-ray, and I sampled that. I actually the theme from Creeps when all the little worm things are running around and all the shit's getting crazy. I made
Yeah.
a fucking beat with that sample from the music that
No
plays.
shit.
Yeah, it's classic. Love that movie. Night of the Creeps is great. So underrated. So underrated.
Yeah, for sure. So I think that should wrap it up for the little intro part. Got your top 5 horror films in, introduce you guys a bit, at least 5 of your favorite horror films. So what do you guys want to do first? You want to do C.H.U.D or Basket Case?
Chud.
Let's get into that chud.
Okay.
Chudderoni.
C.H.U.D, Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers from the year 1984. Does anybody want to set up the plot?
Well, I think it's a pretty simple plot to pretty much break it down. Essentially, people end up going missing. Homeless people end up going missing in the tunnels of New York, and there's obviously detectives trying to figure out what's going on. People get nosy. They try to find out what's going on. People start exploring, finding out things, bits of information are transmitted throughout the movie, and then finally things come to fruition. Obviously, you don't want to give away too much about the plot, but that's the basic rundown. Essentially,
that is pretty much it.
Yeah, detectives trying to find out what's going on in these underground tunnels. People are missing. Things are going on. Strange shit's happening. They're trying to figure it out, and that's
We
when
have
the
some, of
comes
course,
into play.
evil. We have some evil government type of politician type people, and then of course we have a lonesome hero soup kitchen runner played by Daniel
Yeah.
Stern, who you might recognize from Home Alone,
Yeah.
the narrator in The Wonder
Yeah.
Years, and of course the guy from I forget his name in Leviathan, but he's in there too.
Yeah.
I believe whoever made Home Alone watched Chud and was like, you know what? Get me the main guys from Chud. I want them in Home Alone.
Yeah, man.
great. These guys are going to be the fucking McAllisters.
Yeah. Get me that guy's gonna be Kevin McAllister. Soup kitchen guy, you'll be the robber.
Man, Chud is awesome. So Chud, this is kind of one of those New York films that I instantly thought of when I thought of nasty New York. I mean, we're down in the sewers. Daniel Stern is the most greasy, grimy looking motherfucker on the planet with his hair all curled up and greasy. He got grease stains and sweat stains all over his damn clothes, and he's serving these people food in this like fucking
Everybody's
filthy
so
house.
dirty.
Everybody. The homeless look like fucking worse than any homeless person
They
I've
look
ever
worse
seen.
than home. It
It's
looks
like
like they
street
work in a
trash on-
mine.
Yeah.
It's like street trash on steroids. Fucking great.
Yeah, so of course, Daniel Stern is kind of like the good guy who's really worried about his people. He's good at heart. He's serving them food. He runs a soup kitchen, and his homeless people, the ones that live underground, because there's all these underground tunnels and caverns in New York City. They're disappearing. So he calls in a detective whose wife went missing, and he believes that whatever is happening to the homeless people must have happened to his wife. People were murdered. They kind of get nosy and get involved in stuff. And then we run into the CHUDs and stuff. Now, CHUD stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dweller. These things are, creatures. I guess they're human, right? I mean,
humanoid.
I thought they were once human. I wasn't sure if this is true or not.
Were
but
they the
I thought
homeless?
they were homeless people at one time, but they got toxic waste exposure and they turned into these creatures. Because
Yeah.
you remember where they have all those barrels of, waste that they can't get out of the city because of the block that they put on them.
Yes. It's always isn't it always the toxic waste in the 80s? It's like
It is. Fucking trioxin, toxic waste, toxic Avenger. There's fucking gases and oils and leakages everywhere. Everybody's fucking dying from gases and fucking toxic ooze.
and
Jeez.
mutations and
The
fucking
blob,
killer
I mean,
slugs and everything, man. The 80s was full of those tropes, man. Yeah, it's always the toxic waste. So what do you guys like most about CHUD? Rich?
What do I like most about it?
Yeah, like what do you like?
I'm gonna say the actual CHUDs themselves, because that comes off really good. And the one scene that really sticks out to me is when she's, Kevin McAllister's girlfriend, the model. Whenever she's in the apartment and she's getting attacked, and the one's neck starts to grow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that right there looks like dude was like, you know who I really like? Sam Raimi. He's like Evil Dead.
That thing does
That's
look
a great movie.
Deadite.
Oh, it does. It's straight from Evil Dead 2. And it's just like a great homage to,
What year did
Dead
Evil
2.
Dead 2 come out?
84, 85?
This came out in 84 also.
Yeah, I think it was like the mid 80s. Yeah, Evil Dead 2 came out mid 80s because one was like 80, right? Or 81.
I would have to look it up because right now I was gonna say 82 because they made the first one. Well, they shot that in 79, but they didn't get it out until
Okay, so Evil Dead 2 came out in 87.
87.
Really?
So CHUD, maybe Mr. Sam Raimi like CHUD.
Whoa!
What are you doing there, Sammy?
Oh man, are we sure on these dates?
No.
Fucking Sam Raimi ripped them off.
Fucking Raimi the
Damn
Ripper.
It. And I was just paying Raimi a compliment.
Yeah, he was.
Fuck.
Yeah, CHUD came out in 84.
I retract and reverse my statement.
Yeah, fuck. Sam Raimi stole that from CHUD.
Son of a bitch. Raimi the Ripper.
I think your mind just got blown.
All these years. Yeah, Evil Dead 2 came out in 87. You motherfuckers ripped off CHUD. And I just realized it.
You dirty CHUD biting bitches.
Wow, that is straight. Wow, dude, Evil Dead straight ripped that scene off.
That's crazy. Raimi bit the CHUD.
I feel like I don't even want to be a fan of Evil Dead now.
Oh no!
But it was
I'm
okay for CHUD
disgusted.
to rip off. It was okay when it was Chud doing it to Sam, though.
Oh yeah, it was okay for that. But now that I see that Sam Raimi's ripping off Chud,
Oh, I can't believe this.
yeah, this like my mind's fucked right now.
I'm disgusted with your content.
So I'm going to burn the Blu-ray right now.
When I first watched Chud, the very first time I watched it, I never really heard of it. I just picked it up on DVD. I liked the cover. Reminded me of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the way the little Chud thing's looking out of the, manhole. And I remember being the very first time I watched it, the whole time I was like, all right, what do they look like? What do they look like? What do they look like? And I actually remember being disappointed the first time I seen it. But since then, I love it. It was just a complete 180 on repeat viewings. I think I was expecting a little too much when I first seen it.
Did this come out before Ninja Turtles also?
Rich is trying to figure out who the fuck. It's like, who ripped off that?
Because what, Ninja Turtles was 89, right?
Late 80s. I don't know.
Ripped off Chud.
They ripped off fucking Chud with that scene where the eyes are poking out. Their whole fucking poster. Everybody ripped off Chud.
Chud's inspired every movie since '84 in the horror genre. Period.
From Home Alone to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Everything.
Ninja Turtles came out in the 90s, in 1990.
Oh my! See right there, dude. They ripped off the fucking poster. They ripped off that scene where the Chud's eyes are sticking out from the manhole.
Yeah, wasn't that the poster to Turtles 2? Or no? Wait, was they ever?
No, that's part one. The part one.
It is part one. There's alternate posters to part one. Yeah, but they're looking at, man, dude, I think we just figured out some kind of secret thing that every film has been ripping off Chud since 1984.
Idea jacking motherfuckers.
This is great.
This show has now opened my eyes so much.
Have a meditation session afterwards.
Everything I believed in was a lie.
It is. Motherfuckers had me putting Sam Raimi on a pedestal, loving fucking Evil Dead and Army of Darkness, and here I find out my favorite fucking scene's a ripoff of Chud.
Your favorite scene is a ripoff of a decently made B-movie from the early 80s, taken by one of the greatest directors of horror of all time. Fantastic news, fellas.
My life's a lie.
Everything I believed in has now just faded into darkness.
Yes. So, fuck, man. Chud.
Well,
who would have known?
For ruining all of our lives.
So does that mean that Chud is really the greatest movie ever?
Yeah.
Chud inspired all the classics. Fuck.
They were like, that movie Chud, let's just rip that off, but put a little more money into it.
Could you imagine?
We're going to call it Evil Dead.
Could you imagine how fucking angry the director of Chud must be? Watching his movie not do so well, and then watching the success of Evil Dead and Army of Darkness and all the other movies that ripped his shit off. It's like, wow, this is great.
He probably goes to the conventions and sit next to Bruce Campbell, and it's just like, you motherfucker. Motherfucker. People come up to get Bruce Campbell's. He's like, I made that scene, though. You gotta watch Chud.
He comes up with a copy of Chud and just sign it to fuck off, Bruce. Just sign it to fuck off.
So, Chud, wow.
Holy moly.
I like how in Chud, all the underground scenes are fucking really, legit. All the different sewage tunnels, and it looks dangerous as hell down there.
Yeah, it does. They did a hell of a job with it.
Yeah,
they mentioned that too, though. I think I remember seeing something about the behind the scenes where they wanted to go really authentic with it and keep it underground. I think it might have been on the regular DVD commentary or some shit, but I remember seeing or reading something about that or hearing something about they intentionally did that. The scenes they didn't want to do it on like a set or anything like that. They wanted to go really be underground because they wanted to create the atmosphere. And they said even something about the sound. the sound of the way that the audio picks up in those areas has like a larger echo, larger areas and shit. And they wanted that in the movie. You know what I mean? I thought that was really cool for like ambiance and like the actual setting and shit. So
for sure, the way that they did use all real sets or all real locations. Then they must have. Man, New York looks fucked underground then.
Yeah, dude, you could get lost under there.
People from New York are gonna watch this episode and be like, "Fuck each and every one of."
Well, that's the thing. New York doesn't look like this anymore. That's why it pisses me off. I like sleazy New York.
Yeah,
it's like it's funny because these guys, every character has like a basement and then a sub level basement under their basement, and then like it goes into the sewers. Like all their houses like have that. It's like what the fuck.
It's still like that.
That's crazy.
Like that, all that labyrinth and shit. Like I know you could still go there and get lost, and I'm pretty sure that there's still a small population of people that live in the tunnels.
Well, there was documentaries on the tunnels of New York and all the like crazy people, homeless and shit that would be living down there.
Yeah.
I seen a documentary before, like a long time ago.
But then they elected that dude mayor, and he was like, homeless people, you're outlawed. And any drink over 12 ounces is illegal.
Have you guys, I just want to throw this out there. Have either one of you guys, since we're talking about like subways and like subway horror, I just want to kind of throw this out there. Has either one of you guys seen the movie Creep?
No, but I believe Moods was just talking about that one.
Creep is another one that I made a beat with. I sampled the end theme of it. Creep is a fucking awesome movie. That is another one that I highly recommend. Very well done. Great ending. It's one of those kind of full circle endings where when the end comes around, it's like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that feeling.
Really
when that feeling happens, you're like, oh, your mouth drops and you're just like,
it's good. Really good. So that's another one for anybody out there listening, and for you guys if you haven't checked it out, Creep. So my two recommendations so far tonight, Inside and Creep. Check them both out. They're phenomenal.
Is that the one where the girl, she gets left on the train?
Yeah.
And she ends up running, but you end up finding out like the whole world's gone to shit.
I don't know.
At the end.
Stop spoiling.
My bad. Spoiler alert.
I don't think the end. I don't know. The end doesn't sound familiar like that. But the first part of the story does sound very familiar. It's a girl basically left on a train. And then shit gets crazy while she's down there. But I don't think it's the end of the world. No, it's not the end of the world, because at the end there is a bunch of people that come out and yeah, so it's not the end of the world. But it's a really good movie. I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen that one, definitely check that one out.
Midnight Meat Train. That was good.
Yeah, that's a Clive Barker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. That one, the end of that one, I love Clive Barker movies. And the end was cool in an extent. But I don't know what the fuck the idea was. Like, it went from like, this is a really good slasher film to all of a sudden, what
Aliens.
The fuck? What is going on right now? This just became a Ridley Scott production.
Yeah.
Like, I'm waiting for a chest burster to pop up. Like, it wasn't, I mean, we've seen worse. There's definitely been worse endings in movies. But it was strange, it was unprecedented, and it wasn't needed. But other than that, the rest of the movie was fucking brilliant. I love the setting. I love how he followed him and kind of watched the guy. I love the main character. I love the weapon of choice, the kills. The whole setting of it being on a train is very cool. It's not a whole lot of horror movies on trains. Like, we've had Terror Train, Midnight Meat Train. There's a movie called Train.
Yeah,
like there's a few of them. Horror Express. I mean, there's a few of them, but there's not like...
That Train wasn't too bad. I like that.
Yeah, Train was good as well. Train I actually did like. Train is like Hostel on a train.
Yeah, it
is.
Exactly.
It's pretty good. It is.
That's the best way to describe it. Hostel on a train.
With a little bit of a twist. Obviously, the plot's a little different. It's not for sport. It's a little bit different, which I thought the twist in it, the whole reason like why shit was going down, I thought that was pretty cool. Like, okay, that kind of like makes sense, but still really fucked up the fact that like when shit goes down, everybody just kind of just not caring. They're like, yeah, we know what's going on, but we're not going to do anything because we're going to need something that you got. So we're just going to wait. Like that was so fucked up. Oh, it's so fucked up, but really good stuff.
I got a question for you guys. So, you know how the girl's pregnant in Chud, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you know when she's taking the shower and the drain gets clogged and she takes that hanger and sticks it in there and like blood squirts out. Do you think that's like a social commentary for like abortions?
Abortions. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I definitely think it could be looked at that way. And it
Because
may have,
early on they do have the talk like, well, what do you want to do? Like, have you thought about options or whatever?
yeah. I mean, it very well could have been. And they may have done it that way to avoid the graphicness of it because, see, you could still get the point of that without actually showing her having a fucking self-abortion on camera. They could show a scene that's similar to that would make you think that, like, well, oh, she's pregnant, she's using a coat hanger to do this, blah, blah, blah. So maybe they just expect you to connect the pieces like that. So it very well could be. That would be something we would have to... It's something you gotta ask, like the writer or director. Unfortunately, we'll never know the answer to that.
And he'll probably just say, "Take it as you want."
Yeah, that's what they usually do. Open to interpretation is what they like to say. Open to your own interpretation. Same thing with book writers.
So I find it interesting that there's kind of like three heroes in this film. You normally don't have like three protagonists. It's usually just the one.
But they're also very different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They did that on purpose, I think. I think they did that because they wanted... Because you know how typically, like, okay, there's always a good guy in the movie, but sometimes even the good guy you think is a fucking tool bag.
Yeah.
So I think they were kind of like, well, let's have three different types of characters. This way, even if you hate two of these motherfuckers, there's somebody you're going to relate to out of the three. Someone you're going to be like, oh, I'm glad that he, you know what I mean? Like, he's a good guy in the movie or he pulled through or whatever. I think that's probably why they did that, which is interesting because it's a gamble because you're cutting the time of your actors
you are.
shine on one person, but at the same time, you're introducing multiple characters, which means more people are going to be able to relate to different things from each character. So it's kind of
this movie does a lot of skipping around. Like you follow Daniel Stern in the Bush or what did he call him? Smosh. What was his name?
What was his fucking name? It was a weird name.
Yeah, it was
a strange name.
Bosch.
Yeah, it was like Bosch. Yeah, so you follow him around for a little bit. Those two, then you follow the photographer, and then you end up following Daniel Stern and the photographer. It's kind of weird how that all goes down.
I would like to see them make a sequel to this, like a good sequel, because. I mean, I like C.H.U.D too, Bud the C.H.U.D, but that is just a fucking outright comedy.
Yeah, that's not. I would be surprised if that wasn't. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a different script and it was just like, well, let's just make it C.H.U.D too and sprinkle in some C.H.U.D references so we can kind of have a little bit of power behind the name already and get a little heads up on our sales department.
Yeah, I own C.H.U.D too, but I actually haven't seen it. I've got it on one of those like 8 or 6 pack.
Yeah,
movies.
That's the only way you could get it. Region 1.
Yeah, I've got that, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's a zombie movie. It's not like it really has nothing to do with C.H.U.D.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a straight comedy.
Is there even a C.H.U.D character in it?
Well, you kind of.
They call it a C.H.U.D, but
it's not a C.H.U.D. Yeah, they call it a
C.H.U.D.
They're saying that it's a C.H.U.D, but it's clearly a zombie.
Well, that's fucking stupid. What jerk off does that? It's like some guy fucking making a new Friday the 13th movie and being like, you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and give him like a yellow jumpsuit and fucking put up a hockey mask. Let's go ahead and give him a football helmet.
We're gonna put a GoPro on that football
and his
helmet.
name's Jason, and they're like, but it's not Jason. And he's like, yeah, it is.
Yeah. We're gonna spell his name differently. It's Jayson. Jason. And they change the background origin. They do too much shit. They do that all the time. I mean, another example of that, Halloween. I mean, Halloween 3 I think is a cool movie. It is, but it shouldn't have been called Halloween 3 because it's not Halloween. It's a great movie as a standalone, but it's not a Halloween movie. It's like you can't take a character out and like it's still in Haddonfield, I believe, but that's the only tie. I think Haddonfield is the only link to it being.
It's one town over from
Oh, it is.
Haddonfield. Yeah, but still, like the
That's even
settings.
fucking weird. That's
Yeah,
like,
that's
Is it
even
really?
more fucking with you.
No.
They're like it's close to Halloween, but not quite. Kind of like the fucking movie.
And then the whole time they're showing commercials for Halloween in the movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did notice that. Yeah, there
But
was
dude,
a
you
bunch.
gotta say, man, Santa Mira or whatever the hell that little town is creepy as hell. That
Yeah.
little town, the Irish town, man. I love this dude. That Halloween 3 Blu-ray from Scream Factory looks amazing.
You want another movie that did that shit? That completely just shit the bed on a sequel? Fucking Troll 2.
I've
Yeah.
never seen the
Fuck
Troll
happened there? What happened from Troll 1? Okay, Troll 1 was pretty cool. It was low budget, it was cheesy, had fucking Sonny Bono in it, but it was cool. It was really fucking cool. And then Troll 2 comes along and ruins the faith in humanity. I don't know what the fuck Troll
I'm
2
gonna piss
was.
on your dinner.
Hellraiser 5 through 9.
Yeah. Yeah. 5 through 9 is pretty bad. Yeah. I mean, the Hellraiser franchise really did fall off, but a lot of franchises fall off.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
like
much
kinda
all of
part of
them.
the
Okay.
natural process.
There's not a whole lot of franchises I could think of that are over 5 movies long that all of them are good.
Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean,
Remake.
5 sucks. Well,
What
no,
about-
not counting the remake, because the remake is hands down the worst one.
But it's part of the franchise, so you kind of have to include it.
They fucked up though. That original franchise could have kept going another 5 movies, because they really didn't fuck it up like they did Halloween or Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I don't think I could think of any franchise that's over 5 that's even 5 sequels long
Puppet
that is
Master.
perfect. No, 4 and 5 are not good.
Yeah,
Which are you talking about? Retro?
No, I'm talking about Puppet Master 4 and 5.
What's part 4? That's retro Puppet Master.
No,
isn't
that's Puppet Master 4.
Or yeah, the first 5 are actually just called 1 through 5, and then there's like retro.
Actually, I think
So-
Puppet Master 4 is called the final chapter, to be honest.
Or is that when they get the demons? They come after them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking good. That's a good one.
No, I don't like when because they made the puppets turn good, and I don't like that. I liked when they were bad, they were fucking killing shit.
JP's like, I like malicious death of people. I don't
If-
like any possible slight chance of positivity in life.
I watched Dolls and turned it off because the
Yeah.
dolls were good.
Yeah.
I like
Only
when the
killing the
puppets
bad
were
girls.
spitting leeches
They're
on
actually
people.
helping people. Fuck this shit. I want blood and guts and gore.
This will get a negative review.
Yeah. This too shall pass.
So
Oh.
Chud,
So Chud, back to the Chud.
Back to
so-
what we're doing.
I think Chud is basically one of those 80s B movie creature features that is just fun. There's not much
It
to
is.
really get into on it. It's just a fun movie. The creatures look cool. Their eyes glow. There's some solid kills there. And this slimy, grimy, sleazy New York Phil is some great atmosphere. And Daniel Stern's pretty cool with his greasy ass.
After this conversation, I now give Chud a 10 out of 10.
Whoa!
Oh,
Holy
the
shit.
Big 10. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it's getting a fucking 10 now.
What do you rate Chud, Clive?
Honestly, I'll keep it 100%. I give Chud probably a good 7.
That
I would give it a little bit higher, but I think there was some things that it definitely lacked in. I do like the idea of it. I think the story was pretty cool. I think the creatures look pretty cool. The effects and all were done pretty well. The writing was pretty decent. Acting was good enough. But there was definitely room for improvement all the way around, I think. I think a little bit of everything could have used a little bit of shining and improving. But as we all know, budget constraints, year constraints, technology restraints,
Yeah.
a lot of things prevent that from happening. But yes, strong 7 out of 10 for me for Chud.
I think the ending kind of feels like typical, the way, how it saved the day, like type of ending. So I kind of give it take a few points off of that. I also gave it a 7 out of 10. I think Rich is just impressed that it inspired every other movie since.
I
Yeah,
am.
I know,
I
right?
am very impressed by that.
Great.
Okay, so you guys want to hop into Basket Case? I believe this was both Ian's first time seeing Basket Case.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. And I
Yep.
feel bad for saying that too. Like out of all the movies that stand out, people always talk about Basket Case, and I was always like, I'll get around to it, and I never did till today.
So
But
are
it's
you
fucking weird. It's
so
fucking weird.
so Basket Case follows a young character. This film came out in 1982, directed by Frank Henenlotter, who actually also did the two
Frank Hooker,
sequels and Frankenhooker.
Big Hooker.
So
Which is
we
a good movie. Frankenhooker's fucking.
I made a beat with a Frankenhooker sample too. Gotta think.
Oh my god, I gotta hear this shit.
It's great.
So we follow a young man by the name of Dwayne, kind of a weird, awkward guy. He's carrying a basket around through New York, and he's kind of in a little bit of wonder and amazement of the nasty big city. He stops at the first hotel that he sees, gets a room. He carries along with him a giant wicker basket, and as he goes along, everybody always asks him, like, "Hey, what's in the basket,
What's in
kid?"
the basket?
Turns out what is in the basket, and this isn't a spoiler because we kind of see this right away, is his deformed Siamese twin brother that was separated against their will as a child, that he carries around in a basket, and his name is Belial, and they have a ability to have some sort of telekinetic communication. Now, the reason I like Basket Case, one of the things I like right away about Basket Case is we've all seen the stories of the deformed Siamese twin, but I think Basket Case was kind of one of the first to do it. I can't think of anything in movie form that done it before Basket Case, 1982.
No, everything I could think of came after.
Yeah, so opening thoughts on Basket Case, Clive.
Okay, basically, I think it was really well done. I think that it's interesting with the way that the creature, the animation for it kind of is done. That kind of like
Stop motion at times.
like the Henry
They did a
Housen
few
kind
stop,
of.
yeah, Ray Harryhausen. They did a few stop motion. Honestly, it wasn't the best stop motion ever,
Yeah.
but it has that charm to it that just takes you back.
Yeah,
and I've always compared. This is my second time watching Basket Case. I've always compared Basket Case to one of those films that late at night you're 9, 10 years old, you're flipping through the channels late at night, and you land on that, and you just don't know what the hell you're watching, but you're in love with it. That's the type of film Basket Case is for me. It's one that I would have ran into as a kid and just had permanently burned into my memory.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting flick. I think that it was, really interesting concept. I give it this. It's super original.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really anything out there like it that has that same kind of storyline and plot. I think the creature itself looked very cool. You know what I mean? I do like the look of it, but it's so hard to take serious stop motion. Like it's really hard. It's really hard because you're watching. You're like, yeah, like I want to be terrified. I want to be scared of this thing, but like. It's like I feel like I'm watching Celebrity Deathmatch. Like it loses, you know what I'm saying? It loses a little bit of steam. But
Okay.
it's fun. It is a fun movie. It's a fun horror movie. You know what I mean? I'll say that. I think it's a fun horror movie.
I agree that at times it doesn't look the best. But for me, I don't know. I love it. It's something that I love this film. Rich, what do you think of it?
See, for me, it's so bad that it's good. It's so horrible that I kind of like it. But I mean, I could see why I put it off for watching so long. The stop motion in it is really funny, especially when he's ripping the room apart and he's like throwing drawers and shit and banging the bed.
Yeah.
And the just the noise that he makes, just that,
It's
and it goes for so long. But some of the scenes, like when he kills that nurse, I mean the doctor lady,
yeah.
like that death scene is just so long. Like it's so overly long that it's like
Dragged out.
So yeah, it's so funny. And during that scene, you can see the puppeteer's arms inside the puppet, you know, behind her, choking her. Because I'm watching this, I'm like, whose forearm is that? I'm like, that's the guy
that's
puppeting.
Savini. That's just Tom Savini.
Yeah.
The hairy
Like,
arms is Savini.
It's a real fucking hairy forearm inside, and you could see the forearm in the puppet. And I'm like, oh my God. That right there, I was like, you know what? I was like, this is actually good because it's so bad.
Really? Because I think it's not a bad movie. I actually don't think it's bad. I think it's a good movie. I think it's well made for...
Hold on. Let me rewind this back. I want to get something extremely clear in this discussion here tonight.
What?
JP has just announced that he feels that Basket Case is a great movie, yet months ago called Hellraiser overrated. Holy shit!
Hold on. Let me go back to my Hellraiser argument, okay?
That Clive Barker guy, he's not going to go anywhere. But, you know, the guy who made Basket Case, he has a future.
He's a fucking champion. I see a lot of Frankenhooker in his future.
So, the thing about Clive Barker's Hellraiser being overrated, one, I took it back. But two, just because something's overrated doesn't mean it's bad. It could be amazing and still be overrated. Because it's how it's perceived by the masses of being, you know, talked about. That's how I was seeing overrated. I always did like Hellraiser, but I took that statement back anyway. Dude, Basket Case is guerrilla filmmaking. They would go, like, the scene where he's running down the street naked, they had no permits for that, and it's one of the main street. It's a big street in New York, I guess, and they just filmed it. Hopped out the car, did it, hop back in the car, let's go. It's a super low budget.
I'm sure shit like that happens every day.
No,
there's a naked guy running down the street. It's New York. What do you expect?
So this film, to me, it's really low budget, so I can forgive some of the issues, but overall, I think it's a great story. The interactions between Belial and Dwayne, they seem really legit to me. They seem like they have this like bond to where I actually look at Belial like he's an actual character. I don't see him as a lump of like prosthetic. Like he seems like an actual character to me. I take it you guys necessarily didn't get that vibe from it.
No, you know what I thought the whole time? How does he shit? Like, how does his brother shit? Like, he feeds him like 30 fucking hot dogs.
Those were hamburgers.
Hamburgers.
He does feed him like 30 hamburgers, though.
He's got a fucking... There's some hidden shit pipe that's not disclosed in the movie, I guess.
Because it's like he walks around on his waist. And why is he so damn strong?
I don't know, man. It's that, like, retard strength.
It's like the leprechaun in Child's Play. It's like, when I see these little creature movies, when it's little monsters, I'm like, how do you not just fucking punt these little bastards? If I'm getting chased by a Chucky doll, I'm not fucking running. I'm punting your ass.
I think the Chucky doll is like magic. Like he's like magic. The strength of a man.
He's still body. They explain that because Andy says he has, you know, the soul of a grown adult male. So
yeah,
that doll has the strength of a,
like, I mean, the Diaz brothers, they're like super awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, some fucking douchebags.
You know, like they're not very big, but they have the soul of like the toughest guys in the world, so they can just beat up anybody.
Until they get their faces smashed repeatedly in multiple fights, which has happened a lot lately.
Yeah.
Getting that ass busted.
Anyway, that was the little inside joke, guys. Um, yeah, so Belial, Dwayne, dude, how about that chick? Like, didn't she seem a little hot for Dwayne?
What?
The,
Say it
his
again?
the chick that he's like the love interest. Doesn't she seem a little too hot for him?
Well, I think I think that
Believability went out the window a long time
yeah,
ago.
it did seem a little
I could
uncanny.
buy the guy living in a basket, but this girl's way too pretty.
Yeah, I definitely believe in the mutant freak little brother, but her fucking this guy, not a possibility.
Never happened.
No, that's typical movie shit. But for real though, you sometimes do wonder like how the hell that guy got with that girl in real life. So, you know what I mean?
There's a
It
lot of
works too.
times in real life I'm like, no way.
So, Basket Case is one of my favorite movies. It's just, to me, it has heart. And that's what I think matters a lot of times. Like, you can tell that this was a young, low budget group of, friends and filmmakers trying to make something unique and original to get it to play in like the grindhouse type theaters. And you can tell that the guy who made it, loved the city of New York. Nasty, dirty as always. I love that shit. But it feels like it has real heart. Um, the whole time, yeah, yeah. No, I don't know where I'm going after that. So yeah,
Yeah.
it has heart, is what I'm trying to say.
It's a good movie.
It's a great film. Team America. I watched that, I said America.
I mean, do you guys agree that? Do you think it has heart behind it?
I think it does. I think that you could definitely tell the director enjoyed putting the film together, and there's definitely something cool about it. I think it's a unique film. I think it stands out. But I wouldn't say it's a great film. I wouldn't be like, when I start talking great horror movies, I'm not like, that Basket Case, that's a real fucking phenomenally well written, well acted, greatly versed, well affected film. You know what I mean? Like, it's a cool watch. I would definitely say if you haven't seen it, watch it.
Dude,
I would say if you have seen it, there's really not a whole lot of reason to go back and visit it. Maybe every once in a while.
The moment that Belial rapes a woman, I'm instantly sold on this fucking movie because it's so outrageous.
Oh my god. He's like, yes, the Siamese mutant rape scene. It was definitely my favorite. It brought me back. I think I want seconds. I need more Siamese mutant rape. Yeah, definitely.
I for sure do. That's really fucked up funny. How about the guy at the hotel? He's like the front desk guy. He looks like the typical like stereotypical like Italian fucking hotel owner guy that's just behind a desk with his tank top on and his stomach. Guy's funny.
The big tank top where you making fun of guys in tank tops? Is that what
Yes.
you're doing? You got
Yes,
a problem? You got a problem, Tutti Frutti?
All I'm thinking of now is fucking JP going to Pornhub and typing in mutant Siamese rape. Mutant Siamese rape. Is there any of that on here? I'm fucking sold on it.
I need a Blu-ray of this. I need a couple copies of this. I need one for vacation.
No, the Blu-ray looks great, dude. The Something Weird Video Blu-ray is fantastic.
He's like, I actually have multiple copies of Siamese mutant rape videos in Blu-ray quality.
Yeah. Basket Case is fun, guys. I don't know what the hell you are talking about. It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
I give it a 7 out of 10. It's worth a watch, and I give that based on
the heart,
original idea. Yeah, exactly. That'll sum it up better.
I'm gonna have to go
to the heart of it.
I'm gonna have to go a little lower. I'm gonna go ahead and give her a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Because it's original, but like it definitely has some cheesy moments that are like just really not well written. So some of the parts of it are just really kind of bland, and some of the acting is a little bland, but
like the black guys in the hallway. I think there's a tiger in there.
Yeah.
It's got some bad moments. So
No, but honestly, how fucking crazy would that kid seem? Like with all those crazy noises and like shit being thrown around, like all the time these people are hearing this crazy ass sounds coming from this kid's room, like they would think that this dude is a fucking lunatic.
There was like a group of like, it ended up turning into like a group of 50 people all standing out the door like, I'm not going in a room with a tiger. This sounds like an animal in there.
yeah.
So I give Basket Case with all its cheesiness. I love it. I give it an 8 out of 10.
I think that's crazy.
Really high. Yeah,
Yeah,
Says
really...
the guy that gives C.H.U.D a 10.
Oh, bing boom.
Tell me something bad about C.H.U.D though. A specific thing. It's like, no, C.H.U.D doesn't deserve a 10.
It's cheesy. It's kind of cheesy.
I gotta agree with JP on that. I wouldn't give C.H.U.D a 10. I definitely wouldn't give it a 10. But because when I think of a 10, like because here's why. I'm gonna break this down. Let's think of real 10s. Let's think of real
Chainsaw.
10s. Texas Chainsaw, Hellraiser, Day of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead. When you look at movies like that, can you honestly say, wow, you know what? That Basket Case, that shit's really on the same level as that Romero film.
Hell
it's really
no.
on the level of that Barker film. I mean,
but it's a different genre in a genre, though.
It is.
C.H.U.D seems like a 10 B movie. Same way as like Plan 9 from Outer Space. For me, that's a 10 fucking, like, it's a D movie. Is fucking bad, but it's fucking 10 out of 10.
It's the best of those kind of movies.
It's so bad that they made a movie spoofing how fucking bad the movie was.
Yes.
That's how fucking bad it was. They actually made a movie like, this shit was so ridiculous, we need to make another movie explaining how fucking ridiculous this shit really was, because people didn't even get it the first time.
Yeah, but I mean, even C.H.U.D doesn't have like a cult following like, Plan 9 or anything like that.
All right, I'll change it to a 9. It's at least a solid 9.
Yeah, it's all personal preference anyway. I find that not enough people give out 10s. A 10 is not a perfect movie. It's just a movie that excels in so many different areas that you have to. To me, like, yeah, of course, there's probably issues with Return of the Living Dead, but it's a 10 to me. It's can't get much better.
Savini's Night of the Living Dead is a perfect fucking movie. You had John Russo and George Romero both came in to write it. They picked Tom to direct it. You have Tony Todd playing Ben.
Yeah.
Dude, the shooting style, I mean, that was shot right around our hometown.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect. Maybe I'm biased because of where it's shot, but it's still a good fucking movie.
It's been a little while since I've seen the remake at night, but I remember it being pretty quality.
I got the Twilight time of that.
I don't even want to talk about that company. I hate that company to death. You hear me talk about it all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're a bad company, but, dude, that edition, really good. Good commentary from Savini. That release is a 10 out of 10. Like the Blu-ray, just rating the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
That's a 10 out of 10 for all the bonus features and everything. That really well put together.
Definitely, I'll not ever check that out because that.
I will not support any Twilight Time titles.
No, I actually won't. I will not. I will never buy a Twilight Time title. I think it's the most shady type of business out there. The shit that they do.
It's the Fright Night shit was real shady.
They're literally denying people from seeing horror films. Yeah, you can get it in certain other editions, but you're denying people from seeing Fright Night on Blu-ray in the quality of Blu-ray. You're denying fans from seeing that. That's not right. You can't do shit like that. It's not right.
I don't like that limited, like, only 3,000 people. Who's it gonna be?
Yeah, but it's not like this edition is limited to 3,000. You know, the special slipcase signed edition. It's literally the movie
Yeah,
edition.
the whole edition.
Yeah, like
is
so that's what
3,000
pisses me
copies.
off because I can't get it. And then they charge like $40 for it, which is fucking crazy.
I offer, buddy.
Well, I guess that wraps it up for the reviews. Um, so I guess that ending statements and shit. Clive, want to plug anything?
Couple strippers, if you got a few. No, yeah, man. Yeah, I'll plug a few things. I got some albums coming. That's what I do. Everybody knows me for my music first and foremost. So keep your eyes peeled for a couple albums from me. My Life in Black and White, Diary of a Boss Part 2, and Part 3 will be coming out together, possibly as a double disc project or 2 separate individual projects. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet. So I got 3 separate albums coming all this year, very soon. They're all nearly done. Lots of the tracks are already released, but not final mixes. They're rough mixes. The finals are going to be incredible. Keep your eyes peeled for that, and keep your eyes peeled on YouTube. I might be making a comeback to YouTube, getting back.
Please do, man. I know Steve wants you back. Moods wants you back. A lot of people out there, man.
I want to do it myself. It's just been so time restricting, and now that I'm back to fucking the single life, I have a lot more time. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm gonna get something going here soon, and fucking definitely get back to doing videos again. I got to do it. A lot of people want me to do it, so I got to do it. I had fun doing it. I got to get back to it.
And as you guys can tell by all the fucking albums he just listed, Clive's a workaholic when it comes to music. You worked with Diamond Dallas Page, correct? You had something going on with him.
Yeah. Actually, I did. Me and DDP are real cool. He has a thing called DDP Yoga, and I did the theme song for DDP Yoga. And he played it on
boss.
He played.
Rich is a wrestling fan, so yeah.
Yeah, DDP's cool as shit. I chopped it up on him on the phone and everything. And I have an interview. It was me on his radio show, and he actually introduces my song and plays the song. I'll show you after the show.
Holy shit.
Cool, yeah. It's really cool shit. So, yeah, shout outs to DDP, by the way. He's a fucking awesome dude. I had a few really long phone conversations with him at a rough time, and he was really fucking cool. Really cool guy.
Awesome. So yeah, I'll definitely post some links below where you can check out Clive's stuff, his YouTube channel, where you can buy his stuff. Please support him. You know, he's a hardworking guy. Rich, what's up with you, man?
How do I follow that? How the fuck do I follow
well,
DDP?
have you? So I take it you haven't
like
talked to DDP.
Everything I do now,
DDP?
nothing I have ever done. Can I say follows up to? Yeah, I wrote the theme song for DDP Yoga. Like that's like telling me I'm going on after Carlin. Yeah, you're gonna be going on after George here. I was just a little George Carlin.
Good George boy.
But I don't know. Check out the site, The Devil's Eyes. This show will be posted there.
Actually, really quickly, there's a Amazon link on the devilseyes.com. If you click on that, it'll take you, it's over on the side. It'll take you to amazon.com where you can shop like you normally do. And it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it gives a little kickback to the devilseyes.com. Am I correct?
Yes, that's what keeps the site going.
Yeah, so if you're shopping on Amazon, you know, getting your Scream Factories, you're buying a new TV, you're, you know, buying DVDs like we all do, just go to devilseyes.com really quickly, click on that thing, and it absolutely is just the same as you going to Amazon yourself, just that it's through that link, which Amazon recognizes and kicks a little percentage to the devilseyes.com. Keeps everything.
And we got that 60-second short film contest going on. That is going on till the 30th of June.
If you want to make a 60-second short film.
60 seconds can be anything. The prize is the Twilight Time, Fright Night 1 and 2, $40 cash, and then some Rabbit and Red Devil's Eyes swag.
Alrighty. So I think that about wraps it up. This one, little shaky here, getting used to kind of the format and stuff. But the shows will continue to grow and be the best that we can make them. Clive, it was awesome having you back around, man. You're always so fun to talk to, very charismatic as always. You honestly kind of stole the show a bit with some of the shit you were saying, man. So definitely want to have you back on. You need to get back on YouTube also. So yeah.
Appreciate
Anybody have anything else to say?
Other than I'm glad to be back on, and I don't know, maybe I'll get back involved in something again, man. I got to do it. I got so much fucking passion in my heart for horror. I can't fucking slack off on it. Fuck, Julian, you made me spill my beer. Fuck bubbles, my kitties are all fucking angry. Fuck off, Julian. Need to get my shit back together and start doing videos again. That's what I need to do.
For sure.
I'm glad to be a part of the show. If you ever want me back on again, let me know. I'm always down to come back.
All right, man. I definitely will. Rich, you have anything else to say?
No.
Okay.
I'm at a loss for words. I'm still stewing over the Evil Dead 2 fiasco.
It's like, son of a bitch.
All right. So, guys, we'll see you back here next week. 22 Shots is on a little break for the summer, so we're going to be doing these a double shot of horror shows. I hope you guys enjoy. Next week, we're going to have the homie Shock Extreme 1, Steve, friend from way back, coming on the show. We're going to be talking hood horror. Horror films set in the hood. We got Tales from the Hood and Hood Rat with Ice-T. So we'll be talking that next week. I'll see you guys next time, and later.